a couple of minutes before 6 if we're not done by that, or
I'm not going to let you, so forget it.
Fine then, fine. We'll just do everything you want to do.
That's right. It's my week.
Marsha.
Yeah, Marsha.
Yes, it's my week, and I get to choose. No.
Oh, good.
We understand.
Yeah, I've got to run over to. I'll be on with Michelle Marie and Tanis on Astrological Tarot. Yeah, Twillo Lifestyle. So they're starting the show right now. And I said, well, I can come. I'll be late, but I can come.
She had asked me to come on a couple of months back, and I was like, well, I do this on Wednesday nights. I said, we had just kind of started. I said, let's give it a little time and see how things go before I'm not showing up, Mm-hmm. I emailed her, I think it was yesterday, and said, okay, I got 2 weeks. Yeah. 2 weeks off. We can talk.
Yes.
I can do some finagling now. So
did somebody take down M for Lita's question from last week? Do you know? Because I didn't.
I think, and M for Lita, please let me know if this was it. And is this regarding your mother-in-law?
That's what it says.
Yes, it is. About my MIL, mother-in-law. Yes. Yeah. Yes. I don't have it the way that you wrote it, but we can certainly definitely, we'll if you can start
put it up when the time comes. Okay.
Yeah. All right. And I'll
thank you.
Absolutely.
We can
let's say hi to some people before we go ahead and start today. So yes.
Yeah, we got a room full.
So we got Christine Fryer and we got Roxy, who sent me a beautiful poem for me to read during this show, because we said if you want to share anything with the group, that people could send things in. And I know we had a share that Marina sent, and I also got a share from Roxy. Randy Gardner's here, and the topic tonight is Christmas joy. We're going to talk about Christmas. All right, Karen Doyle, Mary Thornberry, Laura Hammond Davis. Let's see,
Joji, Carolyn, Randy, Teresa
Bewitched. Yeah. Barbara Nesper, Louise Fote, Linda Thompson, JR. Carolyn and Peter, you said that. Let's see. Cat Mama's here. JR's here.
Oh my goodness.
Is here. Pisces
Everyone's here.
Who else is?
You see, everyone's here. Timble.
Everybody knows that this is the place to be on Wednesdays. Yes.
That's right.
Yes, it is.
All right. Yeah. Okay. M for Lita, I did bookmark that so we can look at that. So today we were going to talk about some things that we wanted to share about our experiences in our past, and I couldn't find what I wanted, but I can explain what it was. And but I'm going to save mine till the end. I just want you guys to talk about what is it that you'd like to share about Christmas time, either in the past or what your traditions are that you would like to chat with other people about. So, and I'm sorry, I never even said this is Marina from Hearts into Tarot, and Sherry, Voices from the Swamp, and Sharon, Strawberry Rhubarb Tarot, and Val, Dragonfly Crystals, and Next Level Channeling. So thank you all for being here. And so I'm going to let you start, Marina. Go right ahead.
Oh, I get to be first. Okay. Well, I was thinking about this, and one of my fondest memories was when my son was maybe about 2 years old. And we had just moved from Calgary to Nova Scotia because my ex at the time was in the military. So we were posted from Calgary to Dartmouth. And he went on board ship, and here I am 2 days into Nova Scotia, he's sailing away, and I'm going, what? So anyway, that Christmas, one of the things that Chris just loved was, do you remember the show? Oh God, what was it called? It had the kit car in it.
Oh yeah.
The black.
Yeah.
The kid car. And it was, the car talked and whatever.
Oh,
Yes. So he was just
David
absolutely
Hasselhoff.
mesmerized by the kit car.
uh-huh.
And so, because it was going to be our first Christmas away from the family and whatever. Anyway, my mother had bought Knight Rider. Thank you, Watcher. Yes, Knight Rider. My mother had bought him like the kit car ride-in car where you sit down in it and it had pedals and whatnot. So here it is. It's Christmas Eve. It's probably the 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning. And my ex is putting this thing together because it was, like I said, it was one of those ride cars, pedal cars. So here he is. He's putting it. We're being very quiet. The boys are asleep. That's okay. When all of a sudden I hear something coming down the stairs.
Oh,
And
no.
and I knew it was Chris because Patrick, who was my stepson, was older, so he would walk down the stairs, like a normal person. Chris was young, so he'd go one step at a time, right? So I looked at David and I said, just, no reaction. So he stopped what he was doing, and I stopped, and Chris came around the corner and he's rubbing his eyes, and he opened and he looked and he saw the car. And his eyes just got so huge. And he's looking at it. And so I got up and went over to him and I turned him around and I said, "Oh, honey, you're having the most wonderful dream." And took him to the stairs, and he walked up the stairs and went back to bed. That was it.
Oh, that's great, Marina.
So the next morning, of course, it's Christmas and it's early. So we get woken up and Chris comes running in the room. Mom, I had a dream. And I said, "Oh, and what did you dream about?" Kit car. I said, "Oh, wow. Okay, what a great dream." So I said, "Okay, you guys can go downstairs. We'll be there in a minute." Well, all of a sudden, I could hear him squealing downstairs. So off I go. I mean, I dreamed it. I made it.
Oh,
He
that's
was
awesome.
so thrilled.
Uh-huh.
And thank goodness that was one of the years in Nova Scotia where Christmas Day, there was no snow on the ground. It was just, brown. Everything was brown. So he was able to, Christmas Day, go out in his kit car and drive it up and down the driveway.
Gosh, how fun.
So
Oh,
many memories, but that one just
That's
so
perfect.
sticks with me.
Sure.
So love remembering that at Christmas.
Oh, that is wonderful. I was just thinking when you said that, my son was like that with Teddy Ruxpin.
Oh,
And
Yes.
oh my God, he got a Teddy Ruxpin and he wanted to see how that thing could really talk. He ended up pulling its nose off at some point. It was wonderful. Yeah, I love that. Yeah.
And hey, no Celtics here. I don't live in Nova Scotia. I'm back in Calgary. I've been here for over 20 years. It's been a minute.
My father, Marina, was stationed in the Navy in Dartmouth when I was a baby. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And then he was sent to the West Coast to Esquimalt, just outside Victoria.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And what branch was he?
Navy.
No. I mean, like what did he do in the Navy?
Oh, he was a gunner. He manned the big
gunner.
guns.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
In fact,
He had
it
his
affected
finger on
his,
the trigger, ready to shoot.
yeah, no, it affected his hearing. I don't think they had proper hearing protection back then.
No.
So Rebecca Coppola, you can't see Val's hat? We can see Val's hat.
Thank you for saying that.
Absolutely.
Yes, it's
Very
really a
sparkly.
nice one.
It's gorgeous.
It is.
Thank
It
you.
is. I love that it lights up.
Sparkles and everything. Yeah.
Thank you for
Absolutely.
saying that.
We love our Val. She found a red shirt, and we're appreciative that she did.
Yes.
Some of us moved into the holidays incrementally. We just have to
That's
let
right.
them go at their own pace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, but I know these look kind of alien, but they're actually what they are is snowflakes.
Yes.
Oh, they're good. They're fancy. Yeah. Why don't you go ahead and go, Sharon? Why don't you go?
Okay.
Let's mix this up a bit.
Well, one of my
Yeah.
favorite memories is one that I had when I was about 7 or 8. And we were at my grandparents' place, and we actually were in a basement suite. But anyways, I woke up and I could hear I heard the bells. And there was this window that, it's a basement suite, so there's windows, so it's up
Yes.
high. And I'm looking up, trying to see at the roof, and I can hear the hooves of the reindeer and the bells. I went, oh my God, I was so excited. I mean, it was so real. I mean, I must have been dreaming, but it was so real. I can remember it to this day. It was so stunning. And then I have another story about my daughter.
And it could be real. Why couldn't it be
I don't
real?
know. It certainly.
Did you find the deer scat on the roof? Because
No,
If I
didn't
could
go up
talk to
there.
God when I was 4, you could have heard the sleigh bells ringing.
Oh yeah, it's so vivid in my memory. My daughter went to a wedding down in Mexico. She was about 7, and she was the flower girl for my brother-in-law. And what happened was, when they were after the wedding, they went from Mexico City to the east coast of Mexico, and then a hurricane hit, so they had to be evacuated from the beachside hotels to into the central part of the city. So when they left that hotel, she forgot her Gunt bear. Do you remember those Gunt bears?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pink, one of the smaller ones, and it was pink, and she loved that bear. And they tried phoning, back at the hotel. No one could find it. So that next coming for Christmas, that's all she wanted was her bear.
Oh, poor thing.
And do you think I could find one, a pink one, the same size? No, I could not. In fact, I had trouble finding Goomp bears, period. They were so popular. Then it was about 23rd of December, and I found it in one of the local shops on Salt Spring Island. I could not believe it. Now, it was in a flower shop, and it was bigger, and it was blue. But I thought, I'm going to have to get it, right?
Yeah.
And of course, then we spent Christmas Eve and Christmas Day and so on with my husband's parents. And my daughter could not believe, first of all, that Santa came to her grandparents' place. Like, how did he know?
Yeah.
And how did he know about the Gunt bear? I mean, she asked Santa, but she couldn't believe she got this bear. It was just, she was just over the moon. And that's all she wanted. She didn't want anything else. So I'm so glad at the last minute I was able to fulfill her wish.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
There's nothing
absolutely.
worse than trying to find something that every kid, not that every kid wanted.
Elmo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Elmo.
Cabbage patch for my daughter.
In the day, yeah.
Thank God it was Ninja Turtles with my son.
Oh yeah, right, exactly. Yeah.
Wow. Thank
Yeah,
you,
my
Sharon.
girls loved the Ninja Turtles too. They loved the movies.
My son wanted a pizza thrower one year, a Ninja Turtle. I'm like, what the hell is that? But yeah, we found one.
Wow.
Before I move on to Sherry and Val, I want to mention something that was put in here. Joe G asks, and I love this. She says, I have a question about Christmas. If it's a celebration of Jesus' birth, then where's the cake?
Where's the cake?
And you know what? My girlfriend, who I grew up with, her parents every single year sang happy birthday to baby Jesus and blew the candles out. And they were not religious. They never went to church, but they always did that. So
I've had several friends over the years and they weren't Christian. 2 of them weren't Christian at all. They were another religion completely. But they would always have a happy birthday cake for Jesus to go with their Christmas dinner. And I always Thought that was the coolest thing.
That
Yeah,
is
it
really
really
I
cool.
always thought the fruitcake was the cake.
Oh, no. Sorry, I know
No,
there are people that love
We
the
love. We're
fruitcake,
supposed to love Jesus.
Love
not
fruitcake.
religion.
Love it.
but you guys are nuts.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. All right, Sherry, what do you got to tell us?
Oh, well, I guess my fondest memories for Christmas was as a child, my grandmother would always buy those styrofoam Christmas tree forms.
Yeah.
And then we would use toothpicks and she'd get the little chocolate balls in the colored foil. And
Mhm.
we would take like one evening where we would put all the different colors on to fill up the tree. And then
Oh,
she would set that out on the coffee table. If it lasted 2 days, we were doing good. Because everybody walked by it had to pull one off.
yeah.
One of my fondest memories from when I was a child, I was 12 and I was crazy about horses. And I got up that Christmas morning at my grandparents' and I go, we go into the living room for Christmas and there's this saddle sitting in front of the tree. And I'm
Wow.
like, what's the saddle for? And my grandfather was like, oh, well, Santa dropped that off for you. I said, well, what am I going to do with the saddle? And then he pulls at his back pocket, he pulls his paper out. He says, well, I guess it goes with the horse. And he hands me the paperwork to a horse.
Oh my
And
God.
within an hour, he was getting phone calls from several gentlemen who knew he had bought this particular horse, wanting to buy it. And every single one of them, he'd be like, no, Santa bought that for my granddaughter. You'll have to talk to her if she wants to sell. And I was like, no, they can't have my horse.
Wow, Sherry.
Aw, you got a
And I
pony.
loved it. I had her for several years
Oh,
before things just kind of fell apart with my grandparents and everything. And the horses, the house, everything got sold. But it was kind of cool having it. It was a bitch in the wintertime because I had to get up at 4 a.m. every day
Oh,
to go
yeah.
outside and take care of the
Clean the
horses
stalls.
and the
Yeah.
bull that was out of the back pasture, and then come
Uh-huh.
inside and take a shower and get dressed to go to school. So yeah, that part wasn't fun.
What did
But
you
I
name
don't
it,
think I
Sherry?
minded it because I had my animals.
What did
And
you name it?
Her name was Miss Poco Jacket. She was a registered quarter
Okay.
horse.
Cool.
And she was called she was termed a linebacker. She was like palomino in color, but
oh,
she had a solid black mane and tail, and she had a black line that ran from the mane, ran straight down the middle of her back all the way to her tail. It's very, very rare.
Wow.
And they call them linebackers because it's such a rare
Okay.
breed, which is why Christmas Day we were getting phone calls from people wanting to buy
Yeah.
this horse.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But I got to ride in the rodeo with her, and we did trail walks and stuff, and that was fun for
That's
my early teen years. And then I think the other fondest memory I have is actually when my son was in third or fourth grade. I don't remember now which grade he was in. And it had been a really bad year that year for us, money wise. We were really hurting. And he wanted, they had just come out with the new Ataris, Nintendos, whichever
Yeah.
one that had the Super Mario Brothers. That was the game system he wanted. And it was like a couple of $100. And we just wasn't nowhere in the budget. And, and so we had gotten a few other little things and apologized and whatnot. And then about midday, the phone rings, and it was my husband's oldest brother, and they were talking on the phone and whatnot. And then my husband was telling him, yeah, the only bad thing was, Lewis really wanted this game system, and we just couldn't afford it. Maybe next year we can get it. Well, it was about 3 days later. Knock, knock, knock on the door. It was UPS, FedEx, one of them. This huge box from the North Pole to Lewis.
Oh,
And
that's
when,
nice.
he opens the box, from the North Pole. It was the game system.
Oh,
with
Oh,
games.
how sweet of your
And
brother-in-law
my
to do
husband and
that.
I were both like, that was Jimmy. And we
Uh-huh.
called to thank him, and he was like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Aw.
To this day, that man will not admit that he bought that
Uh-huh.
game system and had it sent
Uh-huh.
to
Wow.
Lewis from Santa so that
Uh-huh.
he wouldn't be heartbroken for Christmas. But he was so excited because
Oh,
Santa didn't forget, it just,
Mm-hmm.
and it was just, and it just made me love my brother-in-law that much more because,
yeah.
I mean, he already raised all of his kids. He was dealing with grandkids at this point, That's the age difference between my husband's family and me.
Yeah.
He was the baby out of the 7. I was oldest, and there
Yeah.
were 6 years between us. But I think that was probably one of my best Christmases was when
That's great.
Lewis
That's
got his game
wonderful.
system and
Yeah,
that
that's
just made
awesome.
his day. And
Oh, perfect.
Uh-huh.
Perfect.
Yes. Well, thank you, Sherry, and I'm
You're
glad to know that Lewis got that special gift
Yeah.
from North Pole. Yeah,
yeah, bro, all the way from the North Pole. That's what it said on the
I
box.
know. It's pretty cool.
Well, if that's what it said, that's what it was.
That's
Yeah.
what
With a
it was.
letter inside, I almost forgot, with a letter inside from Santa
Uh-huh.
apologizing for the present being late,
Late.
but there had been this horrible snowstorm up at the North Pole,
Uh-huh.
and they were delayed getting all the
Right.
packages. It was like this 2-page letter of this long explanation. And it's like,
Oh,
I mean, when my brother-in-law did it,
Yeah.
when he does stuff, he
we
does
did it. He
all
did it
the
up
way.
big. Yeah,
So
that's
there's no
awesome.
half measure for him.
Sure. Sure. Well, okay, Val.
Well, my story is when I was probably 6 or 7, but I have to say, being an intuitive psychic kid, I never really believed in Santa. I couldn't really buy into that. I mean, even though, there was the pretense, I felt
Right.
that something's off. But one evening, my sister and I were sitting in the living room with our family, and all of a sudden we hear something land on our roof, and we hear these footsteps, and we go, what? We go out front, we look up, we can't really see anything. We go in the house, and all of a sudden we hear these bells ringing, ching, 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 like the Santa's Christmas bells,
Yep.
jingling on his clothes or something. And we run out again. We didn't see anything, but it gave us that feeling that the reindeer landed on our roof.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though I didn't buy into any of that and figured it was one of my uncles, it was the cutest thing. It's all about the feeling and the love and being so grateful for everything. And even as a child, I knew that about it. And, we weren't religious. We were really metaphysical.
Yeah.
So, but we still celebrated Christmas in that way. And of course, we believed in Jesus's teachings and all that kind of thing. But, I don't even think he was born. I think he was born in January. I'm not even sure.
Yeah, he wasn't born on Christmas Day.
But
I thought it was July.
yeah, I mean, who knows when it was?
Who knows? Yeah.
Yeah.
So that explains Christmas in July then.
Yeah.
That's it.
The
Yeah.
sales. Okay.
But into, fast forward to now, and I've always celebrated Christmas time with, I made a whole tradition of unbelievable. I did the garland up the stairs, cake, mantle, and the whole 9 yards. But my husband and I.
Sorry to interrupt. Is that somebody else's doorbell going off? No? Okay. It must be me. Be right back.
Okay.
So
I was like, we don't have a doorbell.
So I just wanted to say that my husband and my husband says, honey, do you want me to put the tree up this year and all the decorations? And I'm like, oh man, to be honest with you, I don't want to fight the dust that you have to dust everything. You've got it all out. And this is a dusty place here in Nevada. So, I don't even want to deal with it. Although my holiday spirit and mood are all there, and I enjoy it so much. I enjoy the holidays. I enjoy Halloween. I enjoy Easter. I enjoy Christmas. It's a time when everything shifts and you get something fun to look at and enjoy. And so, yeah, in my heart, I keep the holidays, but I don't want to clean the dust. Yeah.
Thanks, Val.
That was me last year. Last year, I hung the wreath on the door and said, "Okay, we decorated."
That's what I'm saying.
I went.
Because
this year it was like, I don't want to drag the big tree out of the closet.
I went
and bought a tabletop. It finally got put up the other night by my son after sitting in the box for a week.
Yeah.
I still haven't put the decorations.
Yeah, I know. See, I've had a year where I didn't even, he put it up and I never put the decorations on. It's got the lights on it, but you know. Yeah.
Well, I packed everything because I thought I was moving.
No.
And then we decided not to sell our house and move. So I've got a whole shitload of stuff in the closet and I can't get to it. So I just pulled out what I could.
Yeah.
And that was good enough. So
yeah.
I did.
It's in your spirit.
It's in your spirit. That's right. Definitely is. And I've been enjoying it. So I wonder how many people out there remember the Reader's Digest Angels.
You remember Reader's Digest?
I remember Reader's
Digest. I used to read the Reader's Digest religiously as a child.
Oh,
as
yeah.
My grandmother had a subscription
bathroom reading.
Yeah. It sat in the bathroom. You're right.
Yeah.
Well, if you folded one side down and folded the bottom side in, what you would do is you would make an angel skirt out of the Reader's Digest. Then you would spray it with silver or gold paint. Then you would stick something in and make a head with a foam hat and a halo and all that stuff. And they used to sell them like at the church bazaar for Christmas, you know. And so, who had time to read in the bathroom? I did, Randy. My family was very, very much so. So that it was quite a tradition. But anyway, so I remembered the Reader's Digest Angels. And I also remember that every year it was my responsibility to buy a diary for my father because my mother started the tradition like in 1958. And it was always from me every year. And I have all those diaries and I go back. And I couldn't find them. They're packed away in a box. But all I can tell you is I could tell you what happened every day since 1959 up to 1992.
My gosh.
Yeah. Mostly it was like the weather. He talked about the weather and things like that.
That's so sweet. Oh my gosh.
It's really, and his handwriting, you know, it just is special to me. Yeah.
Oh, there's nothing greater than to open a book looking for something and I run across notes or a piece of paper that my mom or my grandmother had stuck in there and it's in their handwriting and it's like it just brings it all back, you know, just
it really does.
Handwriting.
It really does. So
my dad was a master machinist all his life, right? So there's a certain smell that goes with the machine shop, with the welding and the everything that happens. And he loved to wear those checkered shirts. And you know, the light ones in the summer, and then he had the flannel ones in the winter, and he had every color known to man and whatnot. Well, after he passed away, as we were going through some of his stuff, I took a couple of his flannel shirts because if I inhaled it, it was like having him there.
Oh, sure.
And to this day, I still have them hanging in my closet. The smell is gone, but it doesn't matter. That was my dad.
I still have a couple of my husband's shirts that every now and again it gets really strong and I have to go put the shirt on and wear it and I can smell them when I put the shirt on, even though it's been washed a gazillion times, you know, in the last 20 years, it's still, you know, it's every time I pull it out and wear it, my son will look at me and go, that was Dad's shirt, wasn't it? I'm like,
It's funny, that's what happened to me this morning. Is I was sitting in meditation and all of a sudden I smelled this perfume, and my mother was big on always having cologne or perfume before she went out to work. And I said, Mom, and I got like 2 pages of information from her, and she was connecting with me.
Wow.
Yeah, it was
That's
just
wonderful.
So, yeah, it was just so.
And that's what happens
sweet.
too at the holidays. They
Yeah.
want to come through and talk to us at the
Yeah.
holidays, probably more than any other time. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. So
Absolutely.
so Rose Blue wanted to say she remembered Grandma making divinity fudge and her fruitcake. When we moved away, we looked forward to her fruitcake come in the mail. We made it last. And I know that some of you who like fruitcake, that seems to be the thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, I loved my grandmother's fruitcake. She really made a good one. So, I mean, the ones in the bakeries and the stores weren't quite the same. Hers was amazing. Of course, it was very soaked in rum.
Of course.
Oh, yeah.
Those are the best kind.
Oh, yeah. I love
So
her
Linda
fruitcake.
says she still has one of her dad's shirts packed in a Ziploc bag. I like that idea. That would
Yes.
keep,
Yeah.
that would keep
I
the
wish I had
smell.
thought of that.
Yeah, that would definitely keep the smell. So
Yeah.
so
My
I would
grandmother
like
used
to
to
share.
make bourbon balls, like rum balls, the little
Yeah.
cake balls. But she would, used to buy coffee, it would come in a can, the big cylinder cans. And she would save the cans and then decorate them. And then that's what she'd put her bourbon balls in.
Yeah.
And you could pop the lid on one of those suckers and get drunk just off the fumes.
I was the bourbon ball maker in the family, and oh my gosh, you could really feel pretty good after 2 or 3 of those babies.
Sure. I bet you could. Yeah. Oh, that's funny.
Good.
I have a poem to share from Froxy Roxy, who sent it to me to be read here. So I'm going to share it. She wrote it in 2017. It's called A Christmas Gift. Long ago in ancient times, it was written one who would come that was divine. Then there came a midnight sky dressed with stars upon this night. The air was still, cold and clear, a sense that something wonderful was near. There was only silence in the dark when moonlight lit a brilliant star. And hope was born with peace and joy, a precious child, a baby boy. And the angels did appear, a choir sang for all to hear. Unending love to give the world, a miracle within our hearts to hold. So bless us all, goodwill toward men, a gift to fill our spirits once again.
Oh.
Beautiful.
Very nice.
Beautiful. Thank you, Froxy. Yeah.
Yes,
Thank you.
absolutely.
Thank you.
I've got a
Oh,
point.
Beck.
Was the
We
night
were
before
supposed to do
Christmas.
coffee today. I'm so sorry.
I've done that before, Marina. I understand.
Oh,
Yep.
Yeah.
I've got a poem for us one that I heard a couple of years back, and I love it. "'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the house the AC is running because we live in the South." And most of the time, that's the truth. Last year,
it is the truth.
we got frozen out for Christmas. It literally 2 weeks, it never went above freezing. I can't remember a winter like that down here ever. And this year, we've been cold one day, hot the next. Cold one day, hot the next. It's like, all right, make up your damn mind. Pick a temperature and stick with it. Yes.
So, do you guys remember Flip Wilson?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Of course.
So he had a poem for Christmas, and it was, "If you don't see a gift from me underneath your Christmas tree, I didn't forget, you can bet, because what you see is what you get." Did this short message hit you hard? The devil made me send this card.
I love his Geraldine and
Geraldine, alter ego. Yep.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Yeah.
I
And
never
as
forgot
long
that.
as we're sharing that, one of the best Christmas cards that I ever received was from a friend who was a printer, and he would very often make up his own Christmas card. So you knew it was always going to be something unique that came. And this one, yeah, it was amazing. It said, times is tough, money's hard. Here's your effing Christmas card.
I love it.
I love it.
You know,
Nice.
that makes me reminds me of a memory that was about 15 years ago. What I did was I made the crackers, the things that you pull.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I made them, I saved toilet rolls and I made them really fancy. But inside I had a limerick for each person that
Oh,
was
that's
was
awesome,
there.
Sharon.
It was fun. Yeah.
I bet it was. I bet
Yeah.
it was.
It was
Yeah.
fun to do.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
Bob Hope did the Christmas stuff every year. He had big shows,
Yeah.
USO shows.
USO,
Oh,
yeah.
we watched it
they
every
still
year.
do the USO shows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know
They don't televise it anymore. But
Gary
yeah,
Sinise, the one that was Lieutenant Dan from
Forrest Gump. Yep.
Forrest Gump. He's
right.
real big in the USO and started a foundation to help wounded warriors when they come back, to help them like get home or get more medical attention and whatnot that they need. It's truly remarkable. I saw they did a video about it a couple of years back. I had no idea he was even, that character that he played so struck home with so many vets, no matter what country,
Mhm.
that when he started a foundation to try to help, because he started doing the USO tours with his band, the character of Lieutenant Dan just took on a life of its own.
Sure.
And all of these people would they do all kinds of stuff for Lieutenant Dan, so
Mhm.
but yeah, I thought that's kind of cool.
I actually really miss the older Christmases,
Yes.
and it's funny because I don't think kids really believe anymore anyway, because my girlfriend's 7-year-old grandson said that according to the law of physics, that Santa could never be all those places in one night.
Yeah.
They're
Well.
too smart. They're just too smart.
That's what you say, but that's why he's magic.
Right. Right.
It
But no, not for this
defies
kid.
the laws
Not
of-
for this scientific mind,
No.
Oh my God. All
something
right.
we used to do every year at Christmas was sit and watch the Bob Hope, Bing Crosby,
Yeah.
Andy Williams, all these great
Yeah, there was always a Christmas
guys.
show.
There was always these big Christmas shows, variety shows they would put on every year with all these different, stars from the movies, from Broadway, from music, that would come on and they would do skits and sing and whatnot. It was so wonderful just because everybody would sit and watch it together,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But that's when there was only one TV in the house and everybody had to sit together to watch it. So
Warrior Girls, some people, I did have wrapped gifts for Christmas, but they were always in a tissue paper. That was Santa. I don't know. Did you girls have wrapped Santa gifts?
My mother, there were 4 kids in my family. My mother never wrapped the ones from Santa. They were under the tree.
Yeah.
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 All right, ladies, we got some questions. We got some questions we got to do today. So thank you for all those wonderful things. I'm sure we could probably do a 3-hour show with 3 hours.
Yeah, just memories, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So may I get some feedback? Past life info, any past life achievements or tragedy, what source brings forth, assist me for my frequency? So all of those who have taken Val's Akash class should be able to tap in there, but those who haven't, use your...
I got the wrong deck.
I'm going to pass simply because I had the COVID booster yesterday and it's kicked my ass.
Uh-oh.
Okay, Sharon. Do you want to leave? Is that what you mean?
No,
Okay.
Oh,
All right.
She just doesn't have the energy to read.
I get it, Sharon.
I mean,
Yeah,
this
no
is
problem.
I can't tune into this one, right?
That's okay.
totally. Okay, Leah. What I'm getting is that the pain that you get sometimes in your lower back or in your side is from a knife injury, and it was a wartime situation, so you didn't. There wasn't anybody there to attend. Had they been able to attend, you would have lived. But that, because you felt like you were left behind, it's kind of followed you throughout several lifetimes. So if that's where the pain is, and like I'm thinking, yeah, kind of lower towards the back and the side more than anything else, is you can heal that. You can send love and light energy to that area and say, you know what, you were that was then, this is now. You were left behind. You're not being left behind now. You're okay. So that's what
Thank you, Marina. Sylvia, Colorful Foresight, we take questions from our community boards. You can't ask any right now in this chat. All right, go ahead, Sherry.
Well, I went to the energies, energy oracle of the seven energies. I'll get it out in a minute. Blah, blah, blah. And I pulled.
What's in your coffee, Sherry?
It was early this morning. There ain't no telling what was in it. I pulled the Rose's Kiss.
Ooh.
And what it talks about in here is allowing yourself to center on an inner joy. That there's so much that goes on around us today that we kind of lose sense of connecting with our inner selves, connecting with our past selves, connecting with our future selves. And it talks about here of just taking the time out to feel what's surrounding you and what's inside of you. Just like with a rose, it smells wonderful, but if you hold it wrong, it'll cut you. At the same time, the petals are velvety soft. I mean, it's all of these different textures and sensations all in one simple flower. And so that's us. We have all these different textures and feelings all within us, and we get so busy that we forget to focus in. When it comes to going into the Akashic records and stuff, I don't know how to do that yet, so I'll probably be taking Val's next class when she does it. And but that's it's just what I'm picking up right now is just focused on what's now.
Alrighty. Val?
Okay, Leah, when I tuned in, I saw quite a few different lifetimes, but one that stands out is when you were a servant and you weren't able to express yourself and really be in your power. And so this is about, in this lifetime, expressing yourself and standing in that power of your soul, operating from your soul self and being able to create your boundaries, to stand in that beautiful power and be a force, the force that you are, the force of love and compassion and beautiful energy. And it's funny, I pulled the Sword of Light, and this is about divine protection, cords cut, breakthrough energy. This is exactly what they're talking about. So just hearing about this life is a healing thing for you to understand. So speak your authentic self, stand in the power of truth. You're perfect as you are. Give yourself that love and approval and appreciation that you didn't get in those lifetimes, and know that you are divine source manifesting in this body here on earth. Thank you.
So actually both lifetimes that were brought up between Marina and you, Val, are what I get in my cards. First of all, she was a servant for the sovereign, probably for Queen Victoria or one of the queens. And of course, you weren't able to speak up because you cannot speak up if you're a servant anyway. But you were a servant for somebody that was very, very big. Yeah. You also were a witch. And I'm thinking that might be the pain in her side.
Could be.
They showed me that lifetime too, because one of the ones that flitted through was the persecution aspect. But yeah, they landed on that one other one. But yeah.
Yeah. The last card I get is I'm only supposed to pull one card. I'm sorry. Was competition. And I think probably that was what you're needing to learn as you were going along. But wow, that was awesome. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right. Thank you so much. All right. So we have Evelyn DeMangles, and I'm going to put up her question.
And don't forget, we've got the question from
yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Ferlita, Miss Ferlita.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Hello. Can you tell me if I would be able to get my storage unit back with all my belongings? So what is needed to get it back? Oh, honey, have you been paying your bill? Because if the only reason I'm asking this question is, guess what I used to do? I had to send these units to auction after 3 months of non-payment.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's already gone. And I had to do it I had to actually do one of them on Christmas Eve.
Oh.
Yeah. So I'm sorry. All right. Marina?
Okay. Yeah, you know what? I got the invitation, and on the bottom it says yes. So I'm going to go with this. My initial feeling was, I think you might be too late. But since this is the deck that I picked, and this is the Witching Hour Oracle, and that's the card I got, I'm going to go with this. So, okay. Yes.
Sherry?
Oh, sorry. I zoned out on y'all for a minute. I started out with the Queen of Swords. So, I'm feeling like that it's just time to let it go. Cut a clean cut. Just let it go. Don't be hanging on to that too much. Followed with the Queen of Pentacles, which, maybe the old stuff has to go so the new stuff can come in.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's hard to make that decision. And with the Six of Cups, you feeling nostalgic over it, And again, I'm getting that message of let it go and move forward. Make room for the new stuff coming in.
Yeah. No.
I did pull a card, one card.
Okay.
Yeah, move on. You're going to have to move on the Six of Swords.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so I got the Fool, which is about new beginnings. So that is about letting go of old things. And I feel like you've been defending that in your mind, really using a lot of your energy on this. Let it, just release it and let it go, because it's been a very long time and that property is probably not there anymore.
Right.
So do yourself a favor to release that out of your mind so that you can free things up to go on this new journey. That's what there's.
I get the knife too. I get the same thing as Sherry. You need to cut this out. Yeah. I'm sorry. It's heartbreaking, honestly. Okay. Let's see. We have BMI DP who has a question. Let's see. Well, where is it? Is that it? No. Come on. Can I please tell how to connect with get messages from my main guide? I don't know the guide's name. So I'm guessing this is just advice on how to connect with your guides.
That's how I'm reading it.
Yeah. You know, it sounds really trite, and not trying to minimize it, but if you sit in silence and listen and just trust what is coming in, write it down if you have to. Don't try to make sense of it, but just whatever comes in, yeah, write it down and then leave it for a while and then go back and look at it. And I think that you will find a lot of your questions are being answered. And the best way, I think, is if you can quiet the mind enough to hear what is being said, and you ask questions, they will answer.
Mhm.
They will answer, whether that's in answer. Okay, speaking of, they will provide the answer. Is do not attach yourself to any one particular way for them to deliver the message. It could be something you hear, it could be something you smell, it could be a picture that pops into your mind, whatever. Be open to all that coming in.
Very good.
Yeah.
I agree with that 100%. Val, what do you got?
This is what I'm getting for you is that you are extremely busy in your mind. And in order to be able to communicate with your guides, this is what I'm going to suggest to you. Do some activity, do some exercise, even 30 minutes on the treadmill, whatever that is, do some housework, exercise yourself for at least 30 minutes. Then by the time you sit down, I want you to get in a meditative state and take 3 deep breaths to ground and center yourself. Surround yourself with light. Send a grounding energy down into the earth and raise that energy up and feel up out of your crown chakra like green Mother Earth energy and white coming down through your crown. Anchored that into the earth. That's going to ground and balance you. And you connected, bringing divine source energy in. You're connecting with that as well. So this sets you up to be able to calm your mind with your 3 deep breaths. Send it out through your heart around the earth. That is the last thing you do. Go up to your crown chakra and say, primary guides and angels. You can also ask Archangel Michael to protect and guide you. But say, primary guides and angels, can you please answer this question? Or what message do you have for me today? And, just sit there and you're going to hear something. You're going to start hearing messages. At first, you may see colors like purple or magenta or whatever. Yeah. That's the process. If you do this every day, within a couple of weeks, you'll be getting full on sentences and information. This is just how it works because you've opened the channel, you've made the appointment, and they're going to be there talking to you. It's a fact. It works. So good luck with that.
Marina, I know you have to go, dear. We have about 4 minutes left, and I'm trying to tie this up. So, Sherry, what do you have to say, honey?
The biggest thing I can think of is just to find a quiet time and sit and try to still your mind.
Mm-hmm.
That's the best way.
Okay. All right. I think that they've offered some great ideas. So M for Lead is in the process. Her mother-in-law is in the process of crossing over. Keeps talking to her mother and keeps saying that she wants to go home. And I want to know what I can do to help her. You can tell her to go, honey.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Just tell her job here is done.
Yeah, say, yeah, go ahead. Your mom's waiting for you. And
Yeah.
I know that sounds kind of cruel. Some people think it is, but it isn't.
No.
They don't want to leave us here if they feel like we're pulling on them. Ladies?
Yeah. Let her know you're going to be all right. Let her know that she is loved and that her job here is done. And yes, you will miss her, but you know that she will always be with you in spirit. Thank her for that and say, you know what? If you feel it's time to go, it's okay, Mom. You can go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the last thing I said to my mom when they called and said it's going to be any day now. Y'all need to come say your goodbyes. And we went, and the last thing I said to her was just simply, Mama, you can go rest now. Your job is done. You've done everything that you were supposed to do and then some. Now just go.
Okay, sorry, guys. I got to go. I'll see you
Okay.
later.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Marina.
I think that they want permission, so to speak, but then they'll wait till you're out of the room. Usually, if she dies and you're in the room, then you are very special, because they don't do that all the time. That's what hospice.
No, that's right. They don't.
Yeah. Anything else, ladies?
I did pull some cards at the beginning for this. And I think she's afraid. I think she's afraid of being alone. Your mother's afraid of being alone, but tell her that her relatives and her favorite people are going to be there. But she has to make that decision that it's going to be all right. And when she does, I mean, here's the Temperance card, the angels. It'll be fine.
Yeah. Okay. Leah, we read you, honey. Just go back and listen. It's there. Okay. All right. We have Alona. She had written on mine and also on Marina's channel. She'd like to know specifically about health and finances for January, February. So I'm leaving that one up for you, ladies. Oops. Sorry to rush through those last two, but you seem to be the only person that feels her energy, and I saw a glow around her, and she seemed young. Yeah, she's preparing Lita to go on the other side and to go back to the age that she enjoyed the most. Yeah.
I think what she's talking about is the brightening, like when they seem young. And, so she's going to go soon.
She will. Yeah. All right. So, Alona, I have to say that January and February to read together are very difficult from December. Let's put it that way. So we can see what's coming up for you. Probably the best way to do it. All right. So I have the card that says, give your attention to details. You're wanting to know about health and finances. Create a budget. Take care of what's do you need to go to the doctor? Do you need to go to the dentist? Do you need your eyes examined? Whatever it is, do that. Give all that you can. And it says also to build community. So maybe it's to work with other people to do those things if needed. That's what I get for you, Alona. Right. Sherry?
I pulled the King of Wands.
Ooh.
So this is just telling me keep your ideas open, your mind open to new ideas of new ways that you might be able to bring a little extra money into your wallet, to help you out. But to be frugal at the same time. Don't overspend. Don't go buy things that you can't afford to buy. Mm-hmm. And Lord knows we all tend to do that at Christmas time, to go buying gifts that we really can't afford to buy. Yeah. Be frugal. Be careful. And just keep your eyes open for opportunities to make a little extra.
Okay. Val?
Okay. What I'm really getting is for you to pay attention to your guidance, your divine guidance, because it's going to steer you in the right direction. And I feel like in January, there's going to be a lot of movement, inspiration, and great ideas. And in February, you're going to be given and following Sherry's idea of being practical with money and being grounded with it, that this would be a good time for you to financially get everything under control. And I think that's
I got the same card.
Oh my
Pentacles.
God.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So, and I was saying, make a budget. And so we all have the same. Yeah.
Right.
But I think also with your finances, with your health, you need to watch that as well.
Exactly.
Well, Pentacles are health as well. So, I mean, you've got to be practical about your finances and about,
And
how you're handling your health.
Yep. Wow. Well, that's really amazing. Thank you so much. Well, it is and it isn't. it's like we, we're just all tapped into the same energy. So we're tapped in. Ladies, I had a good time. Thank you so very much. Yes,
Thank you for suggesting the Christmas garb. It was fun.
Oh, it was fun. It's always fun to dress up. Yes. And thank you to everybody in the chat for those letting us know what some of your traditions were, for Froxy sending in her poem and other things that we have been able to talk about today. And next week, Sherry's in charge. And so,
and I don't know, I'll think of something between now and then.
Something. Mardi Gras is coming, but not for a few
days.
Thank you, everybody.
I know it.
I know.
When is Mardi Gras?
It's in March.
It's in, I think it's in February this year. But
is it?
It's the day before Ash Wednesday.
Okay.
Right.
That's why they call it Fat Tuesday.
Well, there you go. Yeah. Thanks to everybody. Have a great day. Thank you again. Bye-bye, everybody.